After the first movie came out from 2010, one of the fans over at DeviantArt posted a journal from the groups as they actually showed us that a sequel was announced. I myself was very hyped up back when I first time saw that. I used to actually made an old video about it back then, years ago, where I was very excited while talking at the same time. But though it went silent before as many claims it's fake or Alpha and Omega 2 is a myth, then later claimed it's coming 2014 instead of a current year, which they were kind of close as we actually got the reveal image from the cover as we first time get to see what the pups look like. I myself was just excited as others had mixed reaction from the first time that got revealed. But what a coincidence, I'm actually recording this right on Christmas Day, as this is actually a Christmas movie. The story takes place after the first movie ended, as it is now about years later, or possibly about few months later. We see the new trio pups. They're Stinky, played by Kate Higgins, Claudette, played by Mervy Harrington, and Runt, played by Debbie Berry, as they are trying to act like the next generation, especially for a Runt climbing on the tree for fun. We see the veteran characters make their return. Kate, now voiced by Kate Higgins instead of Hayden Panettiere, and Humphrey, now voiced by Ben Diskin instead of Justin Long. They're setting up their decoration in the cave as they're getting prepared for the holidays. And Salty made his return. Now he's voiced by Hugh Tyrell instead of Brian Donovan. Comes in and seeing his friend Humphrey to see what it's like being an alpha since he got married to Kate. And things has changed and so on. The outsider pack comes to Jasper Park for a moment, then later Runt actually goes missing as they wondered where he went. Meanwhile, Eve, now voiced by Tracy Plow instead of Vicki Lewis. Winston, now played by Maxwell J instead of Danny Glover. Tony, now voiced by Bill Ladder as replacement for Dennis Hopper after Dennis Hopper's death from the first movie, makes their return as well when they actually arrived from being invited for the holidays. Then Garth, now voiced by Blackie Rose instead of Chris K. Mack. And Lily, now voiced by Kate Higgins as well instead of Christina Ricci, where they all has gathered around for the holidays to be part of the being invited. We see the pack actually kidnapped Runt as they brought him to their leader, King, played by Blackie Rose as well. Then his daughter, Princess, played by Meryl Lay, takes Runt to the other side of the land. We get a deja vu from the first movie on the vine swinging scene, as this time, now Humphrey is too nervous about doing that again, which I'll give him credit for bringing back the moments from the first movie, but with changes in a way. Stinky and Claudette sneaks out as the whole pack were asleep to go look for a Runt. Runt, on the other hand, started to get closer with Princess, and then both Marcel and Patty reunite seeing Kate and Humphrey again. And this time, both Marcel and Patty are both voiced by Chris Smith instead of Larry Miller for Marcel and Eric Price for Patty. My goodness, they sure hired a few actors to do multiple voices, as they are the next Mel Blanc, Frank Welker, the Simpsons voice actors, and the My Little Pony voice actors that does more than one character as multiple voices. Princess begins to escort Runt out by carrying him as she's trying to protect him. Meanwhile, Stinky and Claudette meets up with their parents as they wanted to join the party. Kate, however, refuses their offer to join as she wanted them to go back home, otherwise they would be grounded. But they end up not listening and decides to join in anyways, as they went vine swinging as well. Later they changed their minds as they allowed them to join. Princess later begins to protect Runt, and he begins to like her the next, while King begins to be disappointed at her. Marcel and Patty tells Humphrey and the family that they found Runt. Bear Cub from the first movie makes his return as they wanted to follow them, but Humphrey refused till the porcupine warns Humphrey about the bear, which happens similarly like the first movie. Till later the Bear Cub tells Humphrey he's lost and hasn't seen his mother in days, and Humphrey begins to feel bad for the cub and decides to bring him along to travel. Kate and Humphrey has the pups to stay behind for safety as they both go alone till later reinforcements arrive to help out and they begin to come up with a plan for distraction. Speaking about distraction, Humphrey tried his best to do a distraction, but in all honesty, this part actually cracked me up from the whole thing of the distraction as Humphrey stands on Garth's back as he's playing like he's a god or something, which this kind of distraction kind of looks like they took the idea from The Lion King on Timon and Pumbaa's hula distraction as Humphrey fakes his name as Lockjaw, which that's a close fake name to come up with, to be honest. Plan went successful. They escaped while escorting Runt. Then later, Winston, Tony, Lily, and Garth decides to, cover them while they're helping them escape. Bear Cub's mom arrives, finding the bear cub. It tries to attack them, but he stops her as he tells her that they save him and asks her to help them out instead. Princess betrays her father, and the bears come to join the pack to help them out for the pack war fight. Lily, well, I'll give them that on how she actually has bravery after she pushed the log. And this, well... let's move on. Runt discovers the human roads and the same gas station from the first movie, which it turned out that they're in Idaho. After seeing from the top view of the tree, then we get the good old log sliding again, and this time with the pups till they crash to a rock, and we get a deja vu of Kate and Humphrey hugging while spinning in slow motion, but this time it's a different kind of hug. The owner or employee, whatever he is, leaves the store with the door open. As it turned out, it's a Christmas miracle for the pups, as he decided to let them stay and begin to rest up in the office room at the gas station, which this was only the beginning of the film series of sequels. As much as I love the first movie, this was like an average movie, which I must say it could have been more different kind of Avengers instead of making it be a holiday special sequel, but at least they're trying. But one thing what's different about this is how the animation style is kind of similar like those Disney direct-to-DVD sequel animations where it's all different compared to the original first movies. That's pretty much how it makes you feel like when you notice how it's different, especially how they change the voice actors as well, with using a couple voice actors, like I said before earlier, saying that how they use a couple of voice actors doing more than one voices. I'll be honest, I still like this movie in a way, even if many do say how it does lack a few stuff here and there, especially not giving Garth and Lily more development. Well, at least they kind of did, but not exactly. I still think this might be up to you about this one after so much mixed reception about this movie. If you love the franchise, well, you can skip this or you can watch this just for the holidays and such. But once again, happy holidays, and we'll see how well the third one goes.